morning, everybody. You guys hear me okay? Let's see. I think we have a little bit of a mic situation. Can you hear me okay? Let me be right back. I can tell you can hear me now. All right. There we go. Just checking a little bit of the connection here. Let me know if you can hear me just fine. This is the pregame. Just here for the last few seconds. We're going to welcome you to the David Trigg Show. And we're going to start in about 2 minutes here or so. If you're watching live, welcome to the pregame show on this lovely day. You also have, I hope that you can see, I have a brand new kind of, frame here. Just trying to do a little bit, something a little different here this morning on this lovely day. Today is already Tuesday. Talking today about how to reduce stress when going back to work. I also hope that you can see my side camera here. Hello, on my little face cam that you see here to my, I think it's here to my left, here on your right side of the screen. By the way, I'm monitoring all of the comments, so go ahead and leave me a comment below and say hello. Tell me that you're doing awesome. Just simply give me a good welcome, a good hello. I'm monitoring all of the comments here on Facebook, as well as on YouTube, and of course on Periscope and Facebook Live. So leave me a little comment below so that we all know that we're hanging out together. We're doing great. I hope that you can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me fine, if the signal is good. Also going to be playing with the music here. Also, I have my Goso mug. Starting in 44 seconds. How are you guys? We're going to be talking today about how to reduce stress. I have a few tips for you as you go back to work, as you go back to school. I already have a bunch of friends telling me, Trig, I'm already feeling all anxious and worried. So in about 25 seconds, we're going to be talking about the tips so that if you're going back to work or back to school today, that you can feel good. You don't have to feel so worried. Giving you some tips as you go back. Starting here in about 4 seconds, in about 3 seconds. Welcome to the David Trigg Show. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Drake Podcast of Joy and the David Trigg Show on this lovely, lovely, lovely Tuesday. How are you guys? Welcome. Hope that you are enjoying your day. Today is already Tuesday, already the 3rd of January 2017. Happy New Year, in case I haven't gotten a chance to say Happy New Year to you. I really hope that you're off to a great, great start. Here in my Goso Studios from Long Beach, California. My name is David Trigg, and I am a pastor and also a coach in the area of music and media. Thanking you for always being here Monday through Friday. You're normally at 8 a.m., but because of a bit of a holiday week, this week we're streaming at different times. This is almost noon, or actually it's already past noon, 12:10 or so, here in the Long Beach, California area in Los Angeles. Welcome, my dear friend. I'm monitoring all of your comments, so let me know where you're watching me from. If you're here on Facebook Live, hello, your video looks great. Sounds perfect. Thank you so much. Hello, thank you, Johanse Flores. Great to have you on Facebook. Also, let me go check here on YouTube. Have a couple of people there, and also on Periscope. Also have about 5 or 6 people. So welcome, everybody. Thankful to have you. Be sure that you subscribe, by the way, to the audio version of this show, which is right here on the right. It says lifeofgospel.com/daily devotions. And that is the audio-only version of this particular show, which I think is always good, so that if you want to just go back and fast forward this audio, maybe there's a section that you really like. You know, the video stream is a bit long form. Normally we go about 30 minutes, but the audio is, not only is it a smaller file, but you can listen to it anytime. You don't have to watch a video per se. So always thankful for the options and encouraging you to always sign up for all of these different features that you see. So Again, Happy New Year. I wanted to read to you something that I thought was really awesome. It says, if you want 2017 to be your year, tell me in the chat below if you agree with these and which one of these do you need the most. If you want 2017 to be your year, here are a few tips. First, don't sit on the couch and wait for it. Go out, make a change, smile more, smile more. We have here my Gosa mug. Always smiling. We also have our Goso bell, and we have our Goso bracelet. All great ways to smile. So smile more is my favorite. Be excited, do new things, throw away the clutter. Some of you got it going with that one. Unfollow negative people on social media. I think that's a huge one, right? Make sure that you follow David Trigg Show. Goes for the whole family. Go to bed early, wake up early. Be fierce, don't gossip. I think a lot of people need that one. I hear so much gossip. Show more gratitude. That's another one for me. Do things that challenge you. Be the change you want to see in the world. So I'm going to put a picture of this here on this page so that you can go back and review those tips that I think were good. Which one do you relate to? Leave me a comment in the chat below. Whether you're on Facebook, whether you are on YouTube, welcome. Glad to have you always here, my dear friend. These tips, I think, are just so good. It's good to think about these things, isn't it? So that we can process just kind of who we are, where we're at, and not get stuck doing the same thing over and over again every year. So let me know again in the chat below where you're watching from, if you're in the area, if you are somewhere maybe in another part of the country. I know we have a lot of people usually on Facebook Live and also on Periscope that are watching from different parts of the country, even in the world. So give me a comment below. Let me know how you're doing, where you're watching me from, what your day is like, how are you feeling, what's going on. So I want to give you a few tips here on this beautiful day that I think will help you to reduce stress. Because I think that what happens is as soon as we hit the ground, maybe today you're back to work. You might not be back at work yet until maybe next week. Maybe the children don't go back. I know here in the LA area, kids go back at least in Long Beach Unified next Monday. So they still have a few more days. And so my wife is the same thing. She's back to work not till next Monday because she's also in the education system. I'm back to work already today. But I wanted to ask you, or maybe give you some tips in case you're having to go back to work. Maybe you're watching this tonight, you're watching this tomorrow morning, you're watching this live perhaps. So I think that the number one tip is to realize that creativity is best in the middle of chaos. That when you experience chaos in life, when you have to go back to work and you feel like everything's a mess, traffic is already a mess, maybe this Christmas season or New Year's season wasn't the best, and you experience chaos in your life or internally, that's actually the best time for you to be creative. So the number one tip is be creative. Don't look at the stress or going back to work as taking away from who you are, taking away from your peace and your quiet. Of course it is, and that'll be number two. But look at it as an opportunity to be creative, as an opportunity to innovate and to do something new and refreshing. Now you might say, well, Trig, you don't know my job. There's no refreshment there. Everything's the same old, same old. I have to just keep doing the same thing I've always been doing. It might be that you don't do something refreshing or new at work, but it could be that the way you get to work is new, that what you do after work is new. It might be that in 2017, you start a side hustle, as some people call it. You have a second interest, a hobby, or maybe even a business that doesn't pay the bills, but that it's something that brings joy to your life. And so the first thing, and I think it's the most important one, is remember that creativity comes in the middle of chaos. Now, let me read to you a passage that I think is very powerful that describes this reality. In Genesis 1, you know that's where God created the heavens and the earth. But look at the context of his creativity. It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But the earth was waste and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. People think that when God created the heavens and the earth, that he was just sort of painting on a blank canvas. or that he just had beautiful blue skies all around him. It says right there that when God created, that there was actually darkness over the earth. That there was, it says, waste. The earth was waste and void. Now, I don't totally understand what exactly God was looking at. If he was looking at sort of a post-nuclear war scene, like from the movies where you see disaster and darkness and void. I don't know if he was looking at space. Depends on your kind of creative narrative, your creation narrative. But regardless of how you think about that verse, here's what's true, is that God created out of chaos. And that's the thing that I want you to always know, that when God created the heavens and the earth, when he said, let there be light, it was in the middle of disaster and darkness and void. It wasn't in the middle, like I said, of beautiful things. He wasn't just relaxing in Hawaii writing his latest book. It was in the middle of what was not even there. In fact, there was a minus return on his investment. In other words, he even had some negative things going into creativity. There was a problem that he was trying to fix. And so that's my encouragement. The number one encouragement is when you face chaos, 2017 may look to you like a tough year already, and this is only the third day. That's an opportunity for you to create. Don't look at times of change or of loss as times to freak out and panic and check out and become addicted to things in this life that destroy you. Instead, look at chaos as an opportunity for you to actually create newness. So how can you do that? As I said, just even simply drive differently, in a different way to work. Do something different before you get to work. Wake up at 5 instead of 6 and work out every morning. Spend time with your children during the lunch break. Maybe you're close to where they go to school. Go and see them at lunch instead of just working through it or maybe just whatever, wasting time. Create in the middle of chaos. Don't be afraid. Number 2 is the importance of grieving or of transitioning the change. When change happens, I think most of us, we have a hard time even verbalizing the fact that there is a loss. I was reading an article about the psychology of humans. And humans, just by our very nature, we are very similar all across the board, across races, language, religion, etc. And one of the things, I think it was number 2, that this article said is that none of us like change. That even if, like for me, even though some of us like creativity and we thrive in the middle of chaos, that no matter who you are, we want consistency and routine in life. Just think of what you do every morning. It's usually the same thing. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you go to the bathroom, you get ready, you go to work, whatever you do. You work out, you pray, read the Bible. You have a routine that you have, and you want that. That's not a bad thing. And so when there's a change from, let's say, 10 days off or 2 weeks off for the holiday Christmas season, and you have to go back to school, you have to grieve that because none of us like that. No one likes that change. It's normal for you to feel like there's a loss, like there is something that you're leaving behind, because truly there is. So grieve that change. Now, how do you do that? I have a prayer that I posted, I think it was yesterday, on my Facebook page. You can just go back there to the David Trigg Show, or if you're on Periscope, wherever you are, YouTube Live, you can just check out this prayer. That's a prayer of transition. Really powerful, really beautiful. Let me stop here and let me know what you're thinking here so far. How are you doing? Hello, my dear friend Shelly. Always a pleasure to have you. Hello, Brother Benny. Blessings to you as well. Always a pleasure. Let me go back to Facebook page and also the YouTube page, as well as Periscope. Thank you for the hearts, everybody. Thank you so much. You on Periscope that are watching, thank you for the hearts. Appreciate that. Welcome to the show. Hopefully you're enjoying these tips. Let me know here in the chat below. A thumbs up. Interact. These live streams, they're different than a video because obviously you can tell me your thoughts and you can not only give me thumbs up or that kind of thing, but also interact. Maybe tell me your tips on how to transition back to reality. Now, let me pause here while I'm thinking of transitioning. A lot of people that I talk to, they say, Trig, I don't have a job. Or I'm not going back to school. I'm actually home. I'm a homemaker. I'm unemployed. I am going through a tough time. So there's no transition coming up for me this week. It's the same old, same old. You also have to grieve. What you're grieving is not a transition, but a lack of transition. That your waiting continues. Because when you're unemployed, and I've been there, I was unemployed for almost a year back in 2013, 2014. It was actually one of the most creative times of my life, speaking of creativity in the middle of chaos. But every morning I would wake up and I had this uneasy feeling that I was supposed to be doing more with my life. Everyone was going back to work at Christmas, or after Easter, whatever, those natural breaks. And here I am, still in my PJs, and my hair is a mess. It's important that you grieve that you're still waiting for that thing to happen. That you're waiting for your business to take off, or you're waiting for someone to call you from the thousands of interviews and online applications that you've turned in. So grieving applies to all of us. Number 3, and the last one. This is the last tip that I think is so important. And that is to transition well. So ease into your transition. What I mean by that is that the temptation when you go back to work, you go back to school, is to expect your emotions and your body to be at 100% where you were 2 weeks ago. Remember how you felt 2 weeks ago? We have 3 teenagers here. All of them were in the middle of finals. 2 of them got sick with 102 fevers. My wife was trying to get her year completed. I was in the middle of budget and business meetings and board meetings. And I was at a tilt, at 1,000%. Most of us were, right? And I know that you might feel like that hasn't stopped yet, but even if it hasn't stopped greatly, it has stopped to some degree because life slows down during Christmas. It goes through its peak, and then it goes through a little bit of a dip. So as you transition back, ease your way into it. What I mean by that is give yourself a day or 2, even though you're there at work, to ease your way into it. Now, how do you ease your way into it? What I don't mean is that you don't go to work, or that you take a nap, or that you avoid all people or responsibilities. It's hard to do that. Now, what I do mean is a couple of things. One is talk to people about going back to work. Instead of the usual, how was your holiday and what'd you get for Christmas, which I can't stand those questions. Instead, why don't you ask people, hey, how has it been going back to work? What are some of the things that you're looking forward to this next year? No one expects those questions, and that's why they're so effective. It actually gets people thinking creatively, and most of all, in the moment. Avoid the trite questions that just look back at what everyone detests, which is to talk about what they got for Christmas, or where they went, or their vacation, and they have to then put up this lie or this face that everything went well. Reality is we all overspent, we all overate, all of us got bored halfway through it, and we all are now bummed that we have to go back to work. That's just a reality. So instead, ask open-ended questions. What are you looking forward to this week? Maybe refer them to a tool like this video. Say to them, I was watching this guy on YouTube or Periscope, Facebook, and he had some good tips. He had a prayer that was actually very effective. Perhaps refer them to a tool or resource that can help people process this transition. Tell them that it's okay to grieve. Forget the video. Just tell them what I'm telling you. It's okay to grieve. It's human psychology to not want change and to ease their way back into work. So talking about it with your friends, with your neighbors, with people at school is very important. And then lastly, it really is to pray. And I want to end with a prayer. I think I can bring it up here on my phone. So let me see if I have it. I hope I have it. I may have it. I know I was doing this the other day. If I can't, you know what? I think I do have it. But either way, you can find that prayer, as I said, in my Facebook page, as well as YouTube everywhere, from I think the video I did yesterday. I did a little stream about this prayer of transition. But you know what? I actually have it here. So it could be that you simply just give people this prayer. Maybe you want to write this down. Maybe do a screenshot of it. Somehow it's right here. I don't know how you can screenshot that. Maybe what I'll do is I'll post it on the bottom of this Facebook or YouTube post, so you can just take that and copy and paste it and put it in your phone and maybe just keep it with you throughout this week. So here it is. This is a prayer of transition as we go back to reality. O faithful God, we ask you to guide us in our time of transition. We need your wisdom that we might be receptive to change, to conversion, and to growth. We need your grace to redirect our hearts so we may be willing to offer ourselves in joyful service. Goes right there. Do not allow fear, ignorance, or pride to limit the work of your Spirit. Amen. Let me read that last section. Do not allow fear, ignorance, or pride to limit the work of your Spirit. Amen. In closing, I want to also read to you Genesis 1 once again, because not only is that prayer so beautiful, but also this verse, Genesis 1. You know how I talked to you about how creativity happens in the middle of chaos? Guess what is the fuel to that creativity? It's the Spirit of God. Check it out. It says right here in verse 1 and 2, it says, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth was waste. So creativity in the middle of chaos. Darkness was upon the earth. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light. Isn't that beautiful? And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Man, I got goosebumps. It is not, that's my goosebump bell. Check out this bell I have here. Isn't this awesome? By the way, speaking of props, this is my winner trophy, because you are a winner. Don't ever forget that. Again, I have my Goso mug here. I love the Goso mug. I love all the yellow. It keeps me thinking brightly, looking at Jesus, the Son of the world. So, the Spirit of God is the fuel to your creativity. It's not up to you. It's not by might. It's not by power. It's by what? By the Spirit of God. It is by the Spirit of God that you will have the strength to go about your business and to go through your day this week. So you might say, but Trig, I have a really big test coming off just right off the bat here. I have a really big meeting with someone that I'm not looking forward to talking. Don't do it by your might. Kneel by the side of your bed every morning this week. Before you go for your, New Year's run, before you stop by your New Year's Whole Foods to get your salad for lunch, before you do all of that, kneel by the side of your bed and say, Lord God, I need your Spirit to help me get through this week. It is not by might. It is by the Spirit of God. It is the Spirit of God that will help you accomplish this. Isn't that great to know? It's not up to you. It's not up to your great wisdom. It's not up to your amazing looks like me and you. I'm not saying don't work, don't do good stuff, and don't get up early. I'm not saying be a lazy bum and it'll just fall from heaven like manna. Hey, that happened once. It hasn't happened since. But what I do mean is stop trying to do it on your own, being a superhero, a superwoman, a superman. Let God be your fuel to your fire this week. I hope that these few tips have helped you. Let me go back here to my Facebook feed. Let me know, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts on this? Has this been blessing you? Has this episode been helping you? Thank you for the hearts on Periscope. Always loving the 10 people that I have here. Let me go back to YouTube. Always nice to have also a few people on there. What a wonderful time, isn't it? Thank you for the hearts. It's wonderful to be able to interact with you and to give you these, what I call it, your daily dose of gozo. Gozo, by the way, means joy in Spanish. Jamba juice for the soul. Stop living on failure street, but let's start living on gozo street, because Psalm 30 says that though there's pain in the night, gozo comes in the morning. There's my spirit bell. I want to encourage you a couple things before we go. First, share this video. People need these tools. Share this out, link to it, Share it with your people on Twitter, your friends on Periscope, on Facebook Live, wherever you're watching this. Let people know that there is a place here every morning, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific, where they can get their daily dose of joy, Jamba Juice for the soul. Second is be sure that you tag someone as you do that. Tag a friend on Instagram. You can also follow me, by the way, on Instagram at David Trigger LA. Same thing on Twitter, same thing on YouTube. Because the reason why it's good to go to those places is because you stay connected to this content. You can interact with me. We can develop a community so that in 2017, you're not walking alone. Because the Spirit of God isn't just a feeling or a presence that's out there. It's people. It's this. I believe that even this that we're doing right here is the Spirit of God's work. And then lastly, I just want to thank you. Thank you for your listening ear, for your faithful eyes. And I want to wish you a great first week of 2017. Leave me a comment below. Give me a heart. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know if something hit you right where you live. If there's something that I can do in 2017 that would help you to live a life of goal. So remember to check out my daily devotion. I also have a brand new service that I'm doing called Gozo University, which is going to be an 8-week online course that you can then receive through email. It's also a video file that comes every week for 8 weeks called Living on Gozo Street. Living, in other words, a life of joy. Just waiting for the camera to reset. And what that course does, by the way, you go to lifeofgozo.com/spiritual power. And what that course is going to do is going to help you on a weekly basis for the first 2 months of this year to stay on course so that you don't lose your mojo. Thank you again, everybody. I'm going to just go out here with this awesome music that I love to do. Thank you again for watching. I'm always excited to be here with you. I'm going to go out here and do the rest of my day. Have a great day in front of me. I hope that you also have an awesome rest of this day. Have a great rest of this day. Have a great rest of this week. Have a great rest of this month. And I will see you next time. Adios. Let's dance.